Hello, I'm Pablo Spot, and this is DEVscoOPS, a rapid show and tell of tools and practices in cloud technology in general. If this tickles your fancy, hit the subscribe button. So let's get into it. In the past, I used to be able to pull Docker images from Docker Hub with no problems until all of a sudden, I got this error. Docker has introduced rate limiting, which in the world of DevOps is very understandable. Rate limiting controls the amount of inbound traffic to your system and manage potential abuse as well as threat to denial of service on your system, among other things. Docker allows for a maximum of 100 Docker pulls every 6 hours, with the rate limiting being introduced. I have created a script that pulls rate limit state with Docker, so if I quickly switch to my terminal and run the script, this result tells me that I'm still allowed to pull 96 images out of the maximum of 100 from Docker Hub. And when the 6-hour window expires, the value gets reset. Because of this rate limiting, I started using AWS Public ECR. With AWS Public ECR, the rate limit allows you to pull 1 image per second if you are not authenticated, and 100 images per second if you are authenticated. I use AWS, and so it just makes sense to explore and start using AWS Public ECR, and also take advantage of the 100 image pull per second available for authenticated account. So this is my workflow. First step, I export my AWS credentials on my terminal. Second, I run an AWS CLI to log into ECR and fetch some Docker credentials associated with AWS. And number 3, I run a Docker command to log into AWS Public ECR using the credentials from step 2. And lastly, I run a Docker command to pull the image from AWS Public ECR. So that's 4 steps all in all. Let's see this in action. So let me pull back my terminal. And I'm going to pull the latest Nginx image using this URI from AWS Public ECR. Let me prepare my AWS credentials on this terminal. Now that I have an authenticated session with AWS, I can now run an AWS CLI to fetch password from ECR Public. AWS Public ECR runs on US East 1 region, which is why I'm passing this on my command. And then what I need to do next is chain this command to log into Docker. And now that I'm authenticated with Docker, I can start pulling the image that I need to pull on my local machine. So my Docker image has already been pulled, and if I check if it's successfully loaded, and there's my Docker image. And because my Docker credentials is short-lived, I will need to run Docker logout to make sure that I don't end up experiencing unexpected problems in Docker. As you would have noticed, I have done quite a lot of steps before even being able to pull Docker images. Can this workflow be any better? Yes. There is a tool called Amazon ECR Credential Helper, which helps facilitate the process of fetching ECR credentials, logging into Docker, and also logging out your session. And so I'm going to go ahead and set this tool up on my local machine. Check out the GitHub repository for this tool to get more information on installation on specific operating systems and architectures. I am using Ubuntu on my terminal, so this is how I'm going to install this tool. To verify that the related binary on this installation is installed properly, I will run this command. What I need to do next is to update my Docker configuration file to allow this tool to run properly. And that's all the setup that I need. The next time that I need to pull Docker images from AWS Public ECR on my machine, all I need to do is set my AWS credentials and then start pulling all the Docker images that I require. So let's see this in action with a fresh terminal. On this new session, I've already set up my AWS credentials. So I don't need to log into ECR or log into Docker. So this time, I'll straight away pull a Docker image from AWS Public ECR. And that worked. Now let me check the image on my local machine. And my Docker image is there. And that's it. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. Until next time, stay safe.